همه فکر کنن پست های مدیریتی رو به خصوص در عرصه فرمانداری ها باید مردم بگیرن.
Some women follow men and some women follow their dreams despite a sea of troubles in front of them.
3 ماه اول اصلا با یک عکس‌العمل و واکنش‌های بسیار تند مردمی مواجه شد.
Follow the story of women who were among the first governors in their country.
واقعا خدمت کردن به نظر من زن و مرد نمی‌شناسه. هر کی دلسوزتر باشه، هر کی بتونه با اندیشه فراتر مشکلات مردم رو حل بکنه، مردم اون رو دوست دارن.
Qasrqand is one of the beautiful cities of Iran in Chabahar region, where most of its people are in farming and stock breeding. Homeira Rigi, who's 38, has been recently appointed as the highest executive authority and state representative in the city. She's a Sunni Muslim with Baluch ethnicity. In the history of Islamic Republic, she's the first female governor appointed for a city.
Hello, Mr. Bozorgzadeh. I have prepared the strategic plan for the city of Qasrqand. All right, take the statistics as soon as possible. He himself is in the meeting. Well, for the time being, tell him about this issue. Tell it to Raisi and he'll follow it up. Say that Mrs. Governor has asked your chief executive officers to do this job. Whoever makes a mistake will be held responsible. Miss Sarmadi, I've even told them that if their professional employees have any problems, it's my duty as governor to resolve them.
She's personally involved with the issues that local people are facing on a daily basis. She spends most of her time in her office, making contacts, visiting locals, finding resolutions, and issuing orders.
Last year, they had asked an irrelevant person to teach a course in chemistry.
That's why we've come here, because honestly, during these 5 years that I wasn't here, the problem of the region has been resolved in one way or another.
If it had been resolved, there wouldn't have been many people up in the air.
Her shoes have been filled. She has not taught specialized courses.
She has lots of memories from her initial difficulties, but now believes that she has passed those stages and has built up real trust.
میدونستم که بحث فرمانداری شما دیگه مدیریت کلان شهره.
I knew that as governor, I was in charge of the macro management of the city. In fact, it was a political management of the city. People have high expectations of a senior political representative of the government, and a governor is supposed to manage a city and its suburbs. It was clearly a difficult job, but I believe that human beings have great potential which has nothing to do with gender. It's neither Islamic nor scientific to say that individual potential is up to gender.
خب اونم مسئولیت سیاسی در منطقه‌ای که کاملا تعصبات قومی مذهبی بسیار شدید.
Accepting a woman as a political manager in a region with much stronger prejudices in comparison with other regions in the country is easier said than done.
به سختی اینجا این راحتی نیست که حالا ما داریم صحبتشو میکنیم. یادمه که 3 ماه اول اصلا با یک عکس‌العمل و واکنش‌های بسیار تند مردمی مواجه.
I remember very harsh public reactions I had to face during the first 3 months. For example, one said, "This woman must be killed with a machine gun." Later on, I told him, "Seriously, was my job so inhumane that nothing could appease your anger but a machine gun?"
شما حاضر نشدی با یه تیر این کارو انجام بدی، یه رگباری مثلا میگفتی حتما باید روش خالی کنید. مردم مستقیما میتونن پیام بفرستن به گوشی خود من بیاد.
People can send messages directly to my cell phone to have their say whatsoever. It can be a report on power cut in a village or a road blockage after rain.
مثلا مشکل است. یا نمیدونم راه فلان بارندگی اومده، راه روستا مسدوده. که ما به محضی که پیام میاد من اگه تو جلساتم نشستم.
As soon as I get the messages, even if I'm in a meeting, I answer them as I'm chairing the meeting because I don't want such things to interrupt their lives.
پیام مردمی پاسخ میدم. اینا که از سفر مکه اومدن.
Those who have come back from the Hajj pilgrimage, plus some officials like the city's police chief, the city's commander of the Revolutionary Guard, the mayor and the city council must be here at my office tomorrow at 8 a.m. No problem if they're asleep. You send the message and they will see it when they wake up for praying and will be well prepared. Call the mayor and the city council and ask them to be here tomorrow morning at 8 to go and see 3 Friday prayers leaders who have come back from the Hajj pilgrimage. I suggested that we must work out a plan on this issue. We don't want to hire someone from outside. The children of these farmers are all educated. I dare say that on the list we have prepared, at least 50 of them have a bachelor's degree. This figure is of course an underestimate.
حالا من پیشنهادم این بود که ما بتونیم مثلا هم این منابع مردمی
My suggestion was to use both human resources and the city's potential in different parts in the form of cooperatives.
In coming weeks, God willing, we'll invite the councils and try to begin the cooperatives project.
Currently, all security and social problems stem from unemployment. In other words, if we gather all the groups and create jobs for them, our security problems will be resolved by themselves. As far as I know, security problems in the region are partly due to unemployment.
Key challenges for the governor are security and job creation in Ghastqand region. Considering the presence of militia groups in this border region, she does her best to get the support of local imams, high-ranked Sunni clerics and local officials to improve the life conditions and implement a better security situation in this region.
One can do something in anger that he would regret for the rest of his life, something that cannot be made up for.
We'll help him by commuting his sentence for having illegal arms. For example, if the sentence is paying 15 million tumans in fines or 15 years in prison, which now is for having arms illegally. Now both the council and the attorney general are there. If a person submits his arms voluntarily, we try to commute his sentence, provided that no one has filed a suit against him.
So do send your colleagues to deliver a speech for 10 minutes about this issue on behalf of you after the speeches of the Friday prayers leaders. Talking about this issue at some big mosques would be a good extensive awareness raising. We must invite people to submit their arms on a voluntary basis because they don't need them anymore, though needed in the past for security reasons.
اومدیم تو زمینه امنیت وارد شدیم و نگاه کردیم که کجاها مردم واقعا اختلافات در حوزه شهرستان در گوشه نقاط شهرستان.
We decided to pinpoint the causes of quarrels in the city. We're still going on in this regard. I usually summon each side of a quarrel and talk to them separately. I listen to each side separately and then I try to find the people and clerics who have influence over these groups. We talk to them and then after clearing the decks and getting the comprehensive information from both sides, we hold the final meeting, trying to bring about reconciliation between the two sides. It's interesting to know that women are highly respected in such cases. It's usually said, for example, that we forgive for the sake of the women's chador. The presence of women is very important in such meetings. In many cases, when I intervene, they say, Mrs. Governor, since you are a woman, we will settle the dispute.
و خیلی از مسائل رو ما وقتی دنبال میریم مثلا میگن که حالا خانم فرماندار چون شما زن هستی به حرمت مثلا زن بودنتون باشه ما میشینیم با هم صحبت جشن گلریزان همونطور که می‌دونیم واقعا خودش جلوه‌ای از مدیریت جهادی با عزم ملی است و این حرکت برای اولین بار هم در شهرستان قصرقند داره اتفاق
Fundraising feast is a real manifestation of firm management and national will. This event is going to happen for the first time in Qasragand. There were many donors in the dawn of Islam. Lady Fatima, for example, who did not save any money for herself and spent all the money inherited from her father to release captives. After all, we are the followers of these great people.
آزادی اسرا و دربندیان کرده بود. خب ما هم در واقع پیروان این بزرگواران هستیم. السلام علیکم و رحمت الله و برکاته.
One of the most important things she has started to do for the first time in her city, Qasragand, is to have charity meetings with affluent people and raise money to help prisoners who are in jail for not being able to clear their debt.
خودم رو به عنوان یک فرصتی برای خدمت به مملکتم و به ملتم یعنی به مردم بزرگ
I regard my post as governor as an opportunity to serve my country and my people.
تلاش مضاعفی
I like to use this opportunity with more efforts to develop this corner of our vast country in a way that it deserves.
به عنوان یک گوشه‌ای از کشور پهناور ایرانمون به اون توسعه یافتگی به اون جایگاهی که در شأنشون هست و حقشون هست برسن.
سلام علیکم. خیلی خوشم. سلام علیکم.
سلام علیکم.
باشد.
مولانا عارفی گفت که من 20 بار اینجا اومدم.
Maulana Arifi said, I've come here 20 times, none of them in daylight. This time they are going to take us in daylight in honor of you scholars who are accompanying us. We asked our trip organizer to take us through the route to Mecca during the day. The route was rough and rugged. Despite this, the Prophet traveled with Abu Bakr from Mecca to Medina. The Prophet gave him 2 dirhams to take them to Medina.
این همراهی رو ما از قبل روحانیون ثابت کردند در همراهی با دولت و سیاست.
The clerics have already accompanied the government and the country's policies. I hope that the cooperation will be more than before. We have to handle problems related to welfare services. For example, we see people complaining about voltage drops and power outages. In a meeting with the head of electricity office, we realized that these problems mainly stemmed from the wrong habits of consumption. Take part in the Friday prayers to know about the people's demands directly and explain your plans and policies to the people there. If you do so, I assure you that many current shortcomings will disappear in such meetings. Since the final exams were approaching, we invited the head of education department to take part in a meeting with the Friday prayers leaders and asked them to talk about final exams in their Friday prayers sermons and tell the people, who are mostly farmers, to let their children study for the exams for 2 weeks. Anyway, our children are our valuable resources, and we must not sacrifice them for work, as we must not sacrifice our families for work. I have 3 children. 2 boys, one is 12 and the other 8, and 1 girl who is 2.5. The modern technology has bridged the gap between us. They would leave voice messages for me. This way we are in touch with each other.
قبل از اینکه با هم شریک زندگی بشیم، با هم شریک فرهنگی اجتماعی بودیم. با 5 نفر بودیم که به عنوان یک
Before marriage, we were working together. We were 5 people who used to work in an NGO with educational and cultural programs. We think in almost a similar way, and we don't divide tasks in our marital life. We don't say, for example, this is your job or this is my job. We have always supported and encouraged each other. We were from 2 different tribes where marriages would rarely happen between them. Our marriage was in fact a union between 2 different places, Sarhad and Makuran. Sarhad is in northern Sistan and Baluchestan, and Makuran in southern Sistan and Baluchestan. We bridged the north and the south.
سرحد منطقه‌ای هستش از لحاظ اقلیمی، مثلا من مربوط به منطقه شمال استان سیستان بلوچستان، مکران مثلا مال منطقه جنوب سیستان استان سیستان بلوچستان. دیگه ما پیوند بین این 2 منطقه و 2 طرف شمال
Ms. Rigi is a physical therapist, and her clinic in Chobahar is one of the first and most reputable physical therapy clinics in the city. She goes to her clinic on weekends to treat her patients.
مثلا درمان‌های محلی و سنتی جایگزین کنن. خب تا حالا نبوده مثلا همچین امکاناتی براشون و برای اولین بار داره توی منطقه شهرستان.
Here, the people didn't have access to such medical equipment, and this was a new thing in the region. They showed resistance to such equipment, which had roots in their lack of knowledge about new ways of treatment. As the city develops and the people get more knowledgeable, their lifestyle change inevitably. We had the same problem during the first 5 years. Even the physicians wouldn't send their patients here for treatment because the patients didn't appreciate our way of treatment.
حتی خب اینا میدادن چون اقبالی از طرف مردم نیست خب از ما مریضاشون هم پیش ما نمیفرستادن که مثلا برای درمان دیگه ما سعی کردیم همون چیزی که من دارم میگم باید به مردم نشون داد باید الگو رو بهشون.
What I'm trying to say is that we must show living examples to people, especially in traditional societies. When we could improve the condition of a stroke patient or a patient suffering from cerebral palsy, it was a good advertisement for us.
اینا وارد خانواده خودشون میشدن به خاطر اون ارتباطات گسترده خانوادگی این میشد یه مبلغ بین جمع. پدرم سال 76 وقتی من از دانشگاه مقطع کارشناسی فارغ التحصیل شدم پدرم به رحمت خدا رفت و نتونست به قول معروف.
In 1997, when I graduated from university with a bachelor's degree, my father passed away and he couldn't see the fruit of his efforts. I remember him all the time and I owe all my successes to his support. My mother continued his way. I would go to elementary school with my 2 brothers and 3 uncles, 5 boys and 1 girl. Since I was the only daughter and a smart student, my teachers would ask me to hold classes for other students to be a role model for them. The boys were jealous of me and they would do something to annoy me. I remember one day my uncles and brothers came up to my father and said, "If she's going to go to school, we won't go to school anymore." My father answered, "If anyone is not going to go to school, they are you boys. She must go to school."
بعد یه روز من یادمه که دایی‌ها و برادرام اومدن پیش پدرم گفتن اگه این قرار مدرسه بیاد ما دیگه نمیریم مدرسه. بعد پدرم گفت اگه قرار کسی مدرسه نره شما 5 نفرین ولی ایشون
I'm very happy spending time with my cousins, exactly like you in the past.
You take care of my children and help them with homework. I might be too busy to help them with homework, but I'm not worried about it since I know that you will help them. So you're helping me a lot. In other words, we're helping each other in one way or another.
People of this province are mostly Sunni Baluchs. Tradition and religion have strong and historical roots in this region. In recent years, despite all resistance and cultural barriers, women of this region have been able to access higher education and use their efforts to get access to top political office. Sarbaz is one of the oldest and most traditional cities in Iran. Most of its people are Sunni Muslims. For the first time, the city council of this historical region has appointed Sistan Baluchestan, who's 26, for the mayor's office and delegated all the city tasks to her.
It's about 6 months since I was elected by the Sarbaz City Council with a majority of 5, and at the moment I'm the mayor of Sarbaz. The city has a traditional structure. The election of a female mayor is a rare event in Iran, but the election of a woman in a traditional city has not yet happened. My family showed a very positive reaction, and my father was among the main motivators who encouraged me to run for election. It was very stressful at the beginning. I can't say that the situation was comfortable, but now I feel less anxious. I was anxious about whether I could serve the people of Sarbaz or not, but later on, with the help of the city council and municipality personnel, I could shoulder this great responsibility with success. All in all, I'm satisfied with my job. The public reactions were very positive. At first, people might have thought that I wouldn't be able to cope with the responsibilities of a mayor, but I showed them that a woman can walk shoulder to shoulder with a man in managerial jobs.
In this hot weather, we have nothing to sit on. There is neither a fan nor an air conditioner. A woman takes pride when she finds out that a female May is going to visit her deprived village. A female May can understand the demands of other women, and the May will spare no effort to help them.
We are making pottery, objects like sugar bowls, plates, pots, and other things.
How long does it take to make each of them?
2 hours.
2 hours each one. You color them, don't you? From where do you take the color?
There is a kind of stone from which the color is extracted.
We are making an artificial turf field here. Flooring and concrete pouring is done. This is a 20 by 40 meter field, and its location was picked because it is adjacent to boys' school. There will be a 3-meter high fence all around it. There will be stadium seats on 2 sides of the field. And here, we're doing the artificial turf, and currently the mayor is preparing its infrastructures.
تا 15 روز طول میکشه ان شاء الله. کارش هم پایان کار ان شاء الله. انجام بدیم ان شاء الله به امید خدا.
ان شاء الله که مشکل خاصی آبی
نه هیچ همه چیز مرتب. سامان به شهر دادن خیلی خوب کار کرده. واقعا کار کرده خدایی. من بچه اینجا بله همسایه بودیم. من همسایه ما هم هست.
I am Ataullah Bozorgzadeh, the head of the Sarbaz City Council. For the first time in the history of Sistan and Baluchestan Province, we have elected a female mayor. She is also the first Sunni Baluch woman to be mayor in the history of the country. In the end, the mayor's powerful plan won a vote of confidence in the Sarbaz City Council. In addition to electing a powerful mayor able to keep the promises we gave to people, we wanted to do something unique. We wanted to break this wrong structure that society sometimes would not stand the presence of women in top managerial positions.
It was a Friday. Some had come from Tehran to do the pavement. I was surrounded by a large number of children. They were so happy that I became even more motivated than before. I was thrilled. Please come in.
This strong-willed, diligent, and educated young lady has overcome all difficulties and has left a good memory of female leadership in the minds of people of this region. Masume Parandwar is a 34-year-old Shia Muslim who has recently been appointed as the first female governor in the Hamun region.
پیامبر رحمت و امنیت، پیامبر وجود و I would like to congratulate each and every one of you, especially dear officials, governor and her entourage, on the birthday anniversary of the Prophet of mercy and peace, the Prophet of kindness, and the Prophet of good and beautiful things. It's a good time today in this divine place, in the house of God, to sit beside each other and follow the tradition of the Prophet of Islam, and to take part in a meeting that is to mark the birthday of the great Prophet.
We also cherish her presence in here, and again welcome her and wish her success in serving her people. God willing, with her efforts and management, our city of Hamun will stand on top in terms of development and prosperity. Now I invite Mrs. Governor to take the podium.
I would like to thank you for your presence in this meeting which we are invited to. I cannot work miracles all by myself because, as you know, one person is not very effective. But I hope that with the help of you, great people, we can have a bright future for our city of Hamun. This land belongs to you. It belongs to you men and women who apparently have not been invited to this meeting. I hope that next time I come here, I see my sisters as well. I want men and women who can accompany me on this way steadfastly. Is there anyone who can help me? I'm nothing without you.
We are happy that our governor is a woman, though it was unprecedented here to have a female governor, and therefore some people complained about it. The governor is a talented woman with great qualifications. We hope that she will do her duties well. We are with her and wish her best.
The governor is a diligent lady. Women are more serious at work. As a chieftain of a tribe who led 13,000 families in Iran, I ask God to help our sister.
It's a good idea since it's also the women's rights. They also have rights in this country. Some of them are the mothers of martyrs and those who got injured in the war. They must be in charge to serve their country. Especially the villagers try to study in order to progress. They know if they study, they will get senior posts like what Mrs. Governor did. We take pride in such women.
جرأت می‌خواست قبول کردن این کار. اولین ها همیشه فکر می‌کنم یه خورده سخت‌تر براشون بگذره.
It took courage to accept this job. Things are more difficult for pioneers. But let me tell you something. We have unique people. We have very good people. It's not an exaggeration to say that the people in Sistan and Baluchestan are unique in hospitality, accepting social and political thoughts, unity and solidarity. You see that in parliament elections, the people in Sistan and Baluchestan voted for a female candidate. People expect many things to be done, whether by men or women. The gender is not important for them. They are looking for a person who can serve them.
یه خانم رأی دادن مردم فکر میکنن باید کارها انجام بشه حالا به واسطه زن یا مرد زیاد براشون فرقی نمیکنه دنبال یکی هستن که بتونه یه خدمتی بکنه برای
In her region, it's not common for women to attend public events and ceremonies, or even be present at public meetings held by local officials. But Ms. Governor objects to this matter and asks local officials to allow women to attend their next meetings.
For me, it doesn't matter if you are from a city or a village. For me, it doesn't matter if you are a man or a woman. For me, it doesn't matter if you are Shia or a Sunni. And it doesn't matter to which walks of life you belong. I've come here to do something with your help and effort. Today, I am the governor of this city. Tomorrow, the governor would be someone else. I'd like people to be satisfied with me when I leave the office and say that she was a female governor but did her job well.
In order to control the region under her governance, she visits everywhere, including the most deprived and rural areas. By visiting stock breeders and nomads, she shows that she personally follows up their issues and she's aware of all affairs.
Thank God. From the moment these women came and wanted this door opened, there have been about 100 women working here. Now we're going to expand it, and we hope to increase the number of the weavers from 100 to 500 in the near future.
At the moment, I'm working in this workshop and I want to study to be a governor, just like Mrs. Pandvar. I would like to resolve the problems of the people as far as I can. I also want to have a good future.
میتونیم درد دل کنیم باهاش صحبتامون باهاش خانم‌ها راحت‌تر میتونن باهاش صحبت کنن حرف مشکل آدمو خیلی زودتر حرف کنن مشکل آدمو میدونن درک میکنن درک خودمونه مخصوصا مشکل خانم‌ها رو میتونن درک کنه.
Look, at this moment in the night, a woman is working with dogged determination. There is no difference between men and women in this regard. It is the woman who helps the man achieve success. Look how active she is up to this moment. She will get home for rest at midnight. But anyway, thanks God.
بهت خوش
گذشته چه کتاب داستان خوشگلی هم. اینا رو باید تازه خریدم. اجازه بده. بله میدونم. پاکن خوشگل. این یه دونه. سلام، خسته نباشی. چه خبر؟ اینم دفتر نقاشی جوجوری خریدی. چقدر خوشگله. چه خبر؟ که اومدی؟
من یه ساعتی میشه.
چیکار کردی؟ من و ارشیا میخوایم نقاشی موش دانا و مار بدجنس. وای چقدر خوشگله. درشون نیام مامان جون.
مامان برای کتاب شعرم گرفته.
وای چه خوش. پاکنش هم نگاه چه پاکن خوشگلی. خیلی چی نقاشی بکشی؟ از همه‌شون استفاده کن. رنگاش خیلی خوشگل. یه رنگین کمون قشنگ برای مامان جون بکش باشه؟
چه خبر؟
سلامتی. امن و امان. کار داره. چه خبر شما؟ خوش می‌گذره؟
الحمدلله.
خب خدا شکر. بیا اینم پاک کنه. چه پاک کنه خوشگلی.
بیا مدادتم.
گشنته؟
گشنم هم هستش.
حسابی؟ خیلی خوب. بذار مرتضی اینا بیان. آره یه زنگ بزن ببین کی میاد. یه تماس بگیر ببین کی میاد. دفتر نقاشی خوشت اومد؟ آره مامان. قزنده‌ای بگیر. یه قاشق قزنده‌ای بگیر مامان جونم.
واقعا راست میگم. پشت سر هر زن موفق یک مرد موفق که واقعا هر کار میکنه که زن جلو پیشرفت زن میگیره نمیتونه. شما ماجرات همینه. هر وقتی جلو کارمانت
مامان خوش می‌کنه مرتضی چون واقعا حامد به من کمک کرد.
سلام.
البته من قبل از اینکه واقعا تو زندگی موفقیتمو مدیون خانواده‌ام و مدیون همسر و بخصوص پسرم که به من اجازه داده که من برم. نه مامان.
حالا شوهر که شوخی میکنه، همسر شوخی میکنه، اینجوری فکر نکنه.
ولی خداییش میگم ها، خود حامدم میدونه، برادرام هم تو زندگیم خیلی. پسر خوشگلم میخوری؟ دیگه غذا کار
خواهم برم با ولوشو بشه.
غذای کارمندی، زن کارمند، غذای کارمندی. یا